Well, guys, I'll get right into it today just so if you watch this later on, I don't bore you. You can hear dogs in the background. But this live is for one of our viewers. They were asking about our traction boards, how we mounted them up, and our gas tank, how that's all mounted. So I have done a video, a YouTube short for our traction boards, but that being a YouTube short, it only allowed me a minute to try to explain everything, and that just wasn't enough time. So that's what I'm making this video for. So if you guys have any questions, if you come on, make sure that you ask them. Now's the time. It's enjoyable for us. Chat options. It's enjoyable for us to communicate with you guys one-on-one. I hope that the wind is not too bad, muffling out the microphone. We get a really strong afternoon wind here. Sorry, my phone is just giving me some notifications. So yeah, it's Wes liking all my story stuff. If you watch this, Wes, I love you, brother. So yeah, let's get right into it. So we are just outside of our house, and someone was wanting to see how our traction boards are mounted. Now, like I've said in a lot of videos, I'm cheap, and if I can do something, now and it works, then that's what I'm going to do. So these traction boards picked up off of Amazon, and what I did was, I'll climb up here without killing myself. So I'm using a heavy duty Velcro wrap. They're storage wraps. It's kind of like to keep some shovels and stuff like that. I drilled 2 holes in the side of the traction boards and then put some pretty heavy duty and nuts and bolts. I also then, to keep these together, I used a good quality and zap straps here, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. That just holds them together. Underneath, you're not going to be able to see it, but I used, like you could use like some pool noodle. What I used was like the wrap that would go around like plumbing tubes, like those foam tubes. And I just cut them probably about this long, and I shoved them in the grooves in a few spots so this isn't hitting the glass. Now, I tried that just the way it was, and it was fine doing about 80 kilometers. That's 60 miles an hour, give or take. And it would wobble quite a bit. And when transport trucks would go by, these would flip way up, come crashing back down. I would lose my foam, so that was definitely not a good idea. So what I did was I bought a GoPro mounting kit. It came with like a handle one, a selfie stick, and a few other little pieces. And this was meant to go, like on your dash, on a window, whatever. So this is a GoPro mount, a suction cup. It's kind of broken since then. But what I did was, the suction cup worked well, but I put just a 2-sided trim, like the same stuff that this stuff is on. So it's a heavy duty 3M, and I just put the two-sided tape on, and this is super solid. Like, that's not going anywhere. And then I just zip tied this to actually physically hold it. Now I can do 110, 120, and this doesn't even move. Now, once in the summer, when it was 30 plus degrees, the tape did start to get a little loose. So I've had these on for well over a year, and I've just had to replace the 2-sided tape once. To the 5 people that are here currently, you guys are awesome. I'm just answering some questions and going in a little bit more detail for a viewer that was just curious about that. So if you guys ever have any questions, you can reach out and I can make a live video for you. So This has worked really, really well. Like I said, I could try to make some type of brackets that maybe come off the roof rack, kind of like our awning here. It's just like an L bracket. So you guys can see that. I could do something like that, but have it turned down. But like I said, I'm cheap. And this has worked really, really well. So this is definitely very DIY, but like I said, I just make do with what I have. This is what I had lying around the house, and it is what it is. So it's really funny. Every time I say like, hey guys, you know, to the 5 people, we lose a few every single time. We're down to 2, but you 2 that are watching, you guys are awesome. Awesomer. Okay, now this and gas can holder and tank. So this, again, both products from Amazon. You do have to buy them separately. Make sure that you get the right tank to fit in here. On Amazon, it will show, you know, underneath the product, hey, you might like in this. And it showed in this one, this is a gas tank from Beaver. Those are the same people that we bought our diesel heater off of. And that was the correct size. I know some people were buying like, you know, their own can, or maybe they had one and they weren't fitting properly. So make sure you get the right size gas can to fit in this mounting holder. How this is mounted is, in the beginning, you know, I can pop my glass. I had 2 ratchet straps holding this on, because I did not want to screw it into the trunk. But my trunk has seen better days. That's, you know, some paint bubbling. So I know eventually it's going to start just looking like crap. So I drilled and set this. Sorry, give me a sec, guys. Hopefully that doesn't blow over. One sec. I don't know. I took this back panel off, and as you can see, I got 4 bolts. 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. These are obviously extremely long, but again, it's what I had. It's worked really, really well. And that's been again on for a little while now, almost a year probably. I also put, this is, it was basically kind of like a Velcro, and I used the soft side, just because if it did rub a little bit, might be hard for you guys to see there. I'm not even holding the camera right. But right there, I didn't know you could zoom in on live. And just to try to help a little bit. That's super solid though, it's not going anywhere. These tanks, now I'm gonna go back here because it's windy. Those tanks, sorry guys, I'm just trying to keep you out of the wind. There was a few reviews saying that after a few months, the paint just goes to shit. And I will concur to that, as you guys saw. It's chipped, flaky. It was an army green. Kind of see it right there. And I just painted it black. It was really just starting to look like junk. And I kind of thought the black looked a little better. And it's already chipping. I just kind of gave it a quick sand and then threw some black undercoating on that. I wanted something a little bit more durable, but that was one complaint. A few people were complaining about that, is just the paint and the rust. But again, I think total for both of those was about 110 bucks. So that's definitely not that bad. It does work well. It obviously comes with like a nozzle. It's a metal nozzle, a couple rubber gaskets so it doesn't leak when you put the nozzles on. The gas tank itself holds really well. It's kind of designed so it holds like the center handle. But as you can see, it does have a little bit of wiggle room in there. But I don't really hear it when I'm driving. I did put some pieces of foam down in there just to try to help with that. And at the back too. Right there. But you know, with the heat and whatnot, this thing is obviously like, you know, it contracted a little bit. It wasn't always kind of sucked in, but, and then it's got a pin through here. I haven't opened this in a long time, but you just pull the pin, pop this open, and then I keep the handle inside. So that is those two items that one of the viewers, I don't want to like call them out and say, hey, this video is for you, and give their name, just because I know some people like to be private. But yeah, this video was for you, so hopefully you get a better idea. And if I change this up at all, I will definitely like keep you guys updated. But as of right now, this has worked, and you know, why change it? That doesn't bother me at all. You can't really even see it, so I'm not too worried about it. I will, though, on the topic of just kind of, you know, traction boards, gas tank, is storage. This is from Off-Road Gear. Now, this is the same, the pack, the same company that makes our awning. And this bag was actually the very first item we put on the truck. Very, very first. As you can see, it has seen better days. It's starting to rip a little bit. It was very brown. I don't know if it's underneath. Okay, that's a little bit of a better color, but it was still way darker. This has been just a great bag. This is one of the cheapest ones you'll find on Amazon. Everything still works perfectly. I do obviously grease a little bit, but it's got a spot where in the pictures it would show tools and going in there. Don't know if I would trust that, especially going down the highway. This side pocket is just good, you know, to put anything in. It's pretty big too. It's the whole size here, and it's way bigger than what it looks like. Like, it can really open up pretty big. It's basically the size of my trunk lid here. It's also got a pocket down here, this guy right here. I don't use that one too often, but this is where I keep, you know, our leveling blocks, our wheel chucks, our garbage when we go camping. So I'm gonna go back here again. It is so windy. I might sit in the truck now. Sorry, this isn't very... I picked a horrible day, but I told the person that this video was for, I was going to get it up in a few days, and it's been more than that. So yeah, that bag has gone... We're going on 2.5, 3 years with that bag, and I haven't taken it off, not once. I keep it on during the winter. It will freeze, you know, when it's all wet and rainy, and then gets cold. It will freeze hard as a brick, but it still works. It's been in the heat of summer, and you know, I jam it full with the garbage, and you know, we use that bag. That has been the best purchase so far. Sorry, I'm just looking around. We have someone that's coming that bought some of our older shower curtains and mats and whatnot, so I might have to put you guys down depending on how long I make this. But yeah, again, if you guys have any questions, leave them. Even if you don't want to like leave it for the public to see, my email is in, I believe, in bio. So on the about page on our main page, you just go to our about page. I'm just rambling there. you'll see it down at the bottom there. It's my name, Adam Zackel, but without the S, at gmail.com. And ask away. It's a little bit more private, and I can just make a video like this for you, or even send you some links or whatever. So this community that we're trying to build is all about sharing and just, you know, not being afraid to what some people might say, you know, asking like those stupid questions or whatever. That's, again, I've asked my fair share of stupid questions, and that's how you learn. So other than that, guys, we will have a new video uploaded probably in the next day or two. And this live will obviously count as one. So today's Thursday, probably Sunday evening. Just giving you guys a little bit of a heads up. We are obviously back from our 2024 road trip. That was a lot of fun. A few little minor hiccups, but that's all kind of part of the adventure. The whipsaw, you guys would have saw if you have watched those 3 videos. That was so much fun. It was in everything that we would have ever wanted, and I just feel extremely grateful that I was able to complete it. If you haven't watched those videos, I highly recommend you go check them out, because it's definitely the toughest off-roading that we've ever done. I also want to, just in case if they do watch this, give another shout out to the whole crew that came on that trip. Walt and Joanne from Findings Life Moments, and give them a subscribe. Hey James, do you use any type of radio between vehicles? So when it's just myself and Tynan, we just use this walkie-talkie here. We obviously have a couple of these. They work really good. It's definitely a few kilometer reach. They're very simple. They have 16 channels, and that's what we use. They're super clear. I just keep mine up here in my visor, so I can just push the button.
Power on. 1, 6, 14, 16.
16 channels.
6.
So it works, again, super easy. When we went on Findings, or on our trip in the whipsaw, I used one of Walter's spare ham radios. Bio, I'm probably saying that totally wrong. BIAOUG something. The antenna was super long. They had that. That's what they use. So because the whole crew was using that. That's right. There we go. Yes, that's the name. I was probably way off. I thought those worked well for how just kind of big of a radio, and maybe it was just the situation we were in. Sorry, just clearing my Instagram notification. We were getting some it just wasn't as clear. I guess it all depended on who we were talking to. Now that could just be kind of like a radio that was dying, not so sure. I find with these ones, they work flawlessly. Maybe it's just because they're a little bit more simple. I do want to get one of those radios. We've been buying lately a lot of items off of Temu. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but I'm sure you have. You've seen all the ads. It's kind of like a cheap Amazon. We've now done 2 or 3 orders, spent anywhere between $50 and $100 kind of per order. Every product, I have 0 complaints. And once you become a Temu buyer, they will send you email after email of just like, hey, you know, 2 free gifts. You obviously have to buy stuff to get those free gifts. But one of the free gifts, because they've been kind of paying attention to what I've been looking at, was one of those radios that I could have got for free. It was saying it was, you know, retailed as either 60 or 80 bucks. I just purchased a $100 order from Temu, so I wasn't going to go buy more stuff to get that radio, but I saved that email so I can go back, and then hopefully it will still be good and I'll buy that radio, just because I think we'll be doing a lot of cruising with that crew, because it was so much fun. But And before that question came in, I just want to give again huge shout out to Walter and Joanne from Finding Life's Moments. They're the ones that invited us on that trip. When I kind of mentioned it in one of our videos, they thought, hey, you know what, like he's kind of talking about going by themselves, because we are very kind of like lone rangers. We don't have a big group of friends, you know, to be honest. Since we moved from Ontario, getting older, I wouldn't say we're like introverts, but we do like our own time. Um, Me personally, I feel like when I'm at work, that's my socializing, and that's good enough for me. You know, I could probably go move in the mountains and be totally happy all by myself, but I have a wife and kids, and I can't do that. Um, but that group that we went on that trip, it's been a long time since we've been able to find just a group like that. You know, same type of personality, you know, very kind of sarcastic and kind of poke at you a little bit. But all big hearts. You know, we knew by day one that this was a really good group. And even though we only spent, you know, 2.5, 3 days with them, I feel like we built a huge friendship between all of them. And it's been great. So to Walter, Joanne, to Brian, to Dave and Lena, and Brent and Tanya, you guys are all awesome. It was a great time, and we hope that we get to do this again more often. On that note, this coming Saturday, Walter and Joanne are going to be coming out our way, and we're going to be doing a trip up to the Carolyn Mines. Now, we won't be making a video because we have gone there multiple times. We've posted a video on this channel, so I don't want to do it again as much as I would like to, because it's always cooler when you have multiple vehicles. But this is, and for them, you know, they took us out to the Whipsaw. This is kind of our way to pay back. I don't know if you guys saw, but these shirts, Run FLM, Finding Life's Moments, and it says Whipsaw 2024. That's the shirt we were all wearing, and Joanne had these specially made and for the trip. And to us, it was kind of like that badge, you know, after completing the Whipsaw, putting the shirt on. And yeah, it's a really comfy shirt. It's kind of a, they're kind of going off that Run DMC, which is really neat. So yeah, I feel really good, you know, that I'm wearing that, just because we, you know, made it through that crazy trail. Since posting those videos, I don't know if you guys read the comments, but we've had a couple. Hey Jesse, if you're local enough, we would love to go riding, driving, and with you. Yeah, we're in the Hope area. That's what, again, this is kind of all about. We wanted to this year kind of host a cruise day. We still could in, you know, October, go to someplace. I don't know, that could be more capable than our vehicle. But yeah, on those videos, he just said he drives a Corolla and would probably get stuck. I've seen some of those cars, or cars, you know, the little Honda Civics, just blazing trail. I guess it all depends on how much you like that car. But yeah, I'm getting kind of off track here. We've wanted to do, and maybe we still will do, like a little, you know, we'll throw it out there, you know, we'll go to someplace like Ramp Rock or wherever. I was going to do kind of just like a GMC Yukon type, you know, Chevy Tahoe type run, because I think that would be really cool too. And I think, you know, us who drive those vehicles would think that was really cool. But, you know, putting it out to anybody, that's, you know, that would probably be more enjoyable. So, but maybe in the future we'll do just, you know, a Chevy GMC run, because that would be definitely pretty cool to see. But as I was saying about some of the comments, most of them were really good. We did have one comment in particular, and I kind of wish I had my other phone that I could show you guys. Sorry. I'm not so sure if my Instagram notifications come up, but one was someone commented, oh, it's a shame to see people building up the trail. And what I got by that, you betcha you can come with your Tahoe. Hey, Rob. Yeah, the crew was amazing, like literally amazing people. Um, like I said in one of my voiceovers, not once did we feel like we were like driving the lesser vehicle or we were a hassle. Um, no egos whatsoever, and that's huge. You see some of those videos of guys going out, and I get it. When you're younger, you kind of got that just in full send type attitude, and you know your cares are different. You don't care if you break, and maybe you have the means to drag your truck way out of the bush. um but for us, everyone's vehicles was basically their daily drivers, except for Brent and Tanya's. I think they only use their Tacoma for off-roading. But for us, if we had to leave this thing out there, good chance, because it would take probably a couple days, it would be stripped, because that's what happens. Excuse me. And just the cost to have a vehicle and off-road recovery would be so expensive. So I would be reaching out to Heavy D to hopefully come out and do it for free to make a YouTube video, because I don't think we could afford it. And this is the truck we use to get to, our appointments, to work, etc., etc., etc. The last thing I wanted was to destroy the truck on the trail. But where I was going with all this, and the one comment we had was us basically, using rocks to be able to complete an obstacle, as they called it, and building up the trail. Now, I can totally see that it would take away some fun for the people that have the capable rigs. They go there to, challenge themselves. And if we stacked rocks everywhere to make it like a road for them, I could understand that. Now, using rocks, logs, whatever, to get over an obstacle, that's pretty darn common in the off-road world. Even the most capable vehicles have to do that every once in a while. Now, yes, that obstacle is probably way more extreme than what we were doing, but that's just, it is what it is. You have to do that. So, and for the few times we stacked rocks out of the many, 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 many obstacles that we went over, that's not going to, it's not like we wrecked the trail by any means. We were probably going up one of the easier obstacles, which again, you want to test your rig. There was many, many lines that you could, go on. So us piling the rocks, and as you saw in those videos, if you did watch, as soon as I got up it, I was basically spitting those back out. But I do understand kind of where you're coming from that, but we were definitely not building up the trail. Another comment, which really, at first, it kind of, like, it didn't bother me. I was just surprised. And if you guys go back to our very last video, you'll see it. I pinned it. A YouTuber that we watch, Chrome from Van City Van Life, what he does is he gets a bad comment, he just pins it and lets his subscribers, kind of go at that person, let them be my voice. And I thought I would try that. Yeah, he's awesome. Chrome is, I would say he's one of the reasons why we got into YouTube. He was the very first, like, I wasn't really a big YouTube watcher until 5-6 years ago. And when I saw him come up. He was the first YouTuber that was somewhat close to us, you know, in Vancouver. So that kind of hit home a little bit more. I was like, oh wow, like, you know, that's a local, you know, he might as well live next door. And I thought that was super, super cool. Forsty Forest is awesome, 100%. We actually met him in town here a month and a half ago. I'm one of those people that you're 100% right, James. It's stacking 100%. I've seen those videos. So I'm going to go over the place, guys. So I'm sorry. I'll try to backtrack. James just mentioned about, you know, and putting rocks there is better than digging holes. You're absolutely right. Some of those obstacles were in way worse shape because of those people that just do the pedal to the metal, and that's just it. That's Cheyenne is ready me to come meet her for dinner in 40 minutes. So I'll probably be here for about 10 more minutes, guys. You're 100% right, because those guys that are just sitting there digging holes, well, now you're just kind of, you know, that's like, to me, like wrecking the trail, 100%. So you're absolutely right on that, James. Going back to Forsty Forest, great YouTuber. I'm one of those people that if I see somebody that I like, you know, whatever, I'll just reach out to them through Instagram. You know, that's how we've gotten on a few of our sponsorship deals on our Ventures R Us, like our Iceco fridge. I reached out to that company. They sent one. An Oxbeam, you know, when I wanted those amber pod lights, I worked with them once. I sent out an email. They sent those to me. But Forsty Forest, we would kind of chit chat back and forth. We'll have to check that out. I'll have to subscribe to you if I can. And we would chit chat on Instagram, and we've put out that offer to do something with Forsty Forest, but he's never really around, and I feel like he feels like he's been used maybe by some other YouTubers. You know, they use him for those views, and then they almost stop talking to him. And we have told ourselves, and when I say we, myself and Cheyenne, we wouldn't film a video with him as much as we would have loved to. That would just show, you know, I would rather build a friendship and then maybe film than to just, so, and Forsty does, he lives in a van. He kind of moved into a van years ago, and it was a tiny, tiny, tiny little van. And he kind of hit that market, and he is he's got a good sense of humor, kind of dry, but really funny. And he hikes. He is one just crazy, crazy man. The hikes he goes on is incredible. His endurance is, you know, he's really, he's easy to watch. His videos are between, you know, let's say 10 to maybe 15, 16 minutes long, and they feel like you watch an hour. And yes, his little dog Rocco is cute. We were super happy that he got that. But anyways, he was traveling. This is when he was having an issue with his van, and it was just going to shop to shop to shop. Well, he was making his way up coast to go meet that young lady he's been hanging out with. For some reason, I can't think of the name, who drives the Jeep. He was at the Hope in Lordco, and we kind of did the crazy, you know, oh my God, there's Tom Cruise, and pulled in, and he was just getting out, and we got a picture with him and Cheyenne. Yes, with Louis, that's right, that's the name. I had it at the tip of my tongue. We chit-chatted, we exchanged emails, because he kind of stopped doing the whole Instagram and like other social medias, just concentrating on YouTube. And hopefully one day we'll get out and get to do something with him. Chrome, on the other hand, Van City Van Life, we've been kind of chit-chatting for years kind of now. I threw out a video years ago. Chrome was looking for an artist for some work he had planned in his mind. And we have an artist that would follow us on our Ventures R Us channel. He was really like, He was like an older gentleman, Guy Creations, and he does amazing artwork with cars. And it's very kind of cartoony, but just, you know, he could make our truck look like a badass rig. I do want to get some art done by him. It is a little bit more expensive. And like I said, I'm cheap and I have a hard time, you know, coughing up that money. But when I heard that, I sent Chrome a message, and that shirt, for those of you who watch Chrome, where he's pooping in a bucket, and it says, I poop in a bucket or whatever, and he's sitting on a bucket, that is from Guy Creations. He used an artist that we sent him. I believe he followed us too on YouTube, Our Ventures Are Us. And then since then, you know, when he was dating Emily, you know, we would chit chat. I ran into Emily, the cat lady Van, at the dollar store here in town. It's kind of a small world. It's kind of funny how many YouTubers we ran into, and they've always mentioned, you know, hey, we'll get together sometimes, because I think they were looking at us like, hey, we could take them underground, go explore mine, and that would be really cool for them. But just that's never happened. Chrome is obviously extremely busy. And I know that's kind of weird to be like, hey, you know, yes, we chit chat, but you guys are complete strangers. But going way now back to that comment, or to the second comment, and I'll only probably talk here for another 5 or so minutes. I appreciate everyone that's and is watching and has come on. This is a guy who, so if you go back to our vehicle with Tynan's truck that's broken, our day 3 of our Whipsaw Trail, he commented on the very first one, being super positive. Hey, good job, you know, this is great content. And in that video, he basically said that we were slow and that our rig is meant for the back road, you know, like the Forest Service roads. We were slowing everyone down, and even though they maybe didn't show it, we were probably annoying everyone with us because of having to wait for us. So Cheyenne responded to them, because she's really smart at using her words. Excuse me. And she took that kind of personally. Not once did we feel like we were, you know, being an inconvenience to the group. They were so supportive. They knew what they were kind of getting themselves in. We're an all-wheel drive Denali. Like, it is not meant to be on that trail. That being said, the entire time we basically followed everybody. Same obstacles. There was a couple, and I mean just a couple, where that, and they went the harder way, and that's just because we would have, you know, and turtled and wouldn't been able to get over it. And we had to use a winch twice. So I don't know if this is the guy for the clothing. Oh, it might be. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it is. I might have to go, guys, but maybe I'll get into it a little bit more. Like I said, there's someone coming to buy some stuff, but if this is him, I'm going to have to jet. But, and if they do go, we can talk about this in maybe another video. We did a hell of a good job. If I would have, you know, the first obstacle we had to get tugged out, if I would have just climbed the wall a little bit higher on the left side, that would have probably made a hell of a difference. And if we would have just maybe picked a different line up Falcon Hill, that would have also made a big heck of a difference. But I think this is it, guys. That guy is here to pick up some stuff. Yes, and that's what winches are for. And they were totally happy. You know, like, they don't get to use them very often. So they were like, oh, wow, you know, yes, we get to use what we bought. And yeah, it was a great trip. I'm going to cut it here, guys, because I got to go help that guy. But to everyone who's watched, to you guys and chit-chatting here, you guys are awesome. And we love you all. But until next time, guys, I'm going to let you go. We'll pick up this conversation in another video. And take care, guys.